Hello guys. Today our topic is about primitive data types in JavaScript. Pay a bit attention to this video and take a note of the class. At the end of the video I will be asking some questions related to today's topic. So let's dive into the concept now. Do you know that a value can only be defined in two ways, as objects and primitive values in JavaScript? And the declaration of primitive values and objects will look like this. Yes, I know it is a bit confusing, but do not think about the implementation of the objects now. Later in this course, we have a detailed explanation regarding the objects in JavaScript. So, let's just focus on the primitive data values. Okay. So there are 7 primitive data types in JavaScript. Those data types are number, string, boolean, undefined, null, symbol and big int. Let's talk about each primitive data type one after another. First thing we are discussing is about a number data type. Number. All the values that are initialized to the number will be in the floating point numbers. All the decimals and integers will be called as floating point numbers in JavaScript. Unlike in any other programming language, we don't have the specific declaration of the number like int, float, double, long, etc. Here is an example for the number data type. By looking at the example we can say that an integer is assigned to a variable named as day. Second is in string primitive data type in JavaScript. Generally, what is meant by a string? A string will be a sequence of characters, right? Yes, the sequence of characters is called as string in JavaScript. In string data type we store the text enclosed with single quotes or double quotes. Here is an example for the string in JavaScript. Third, boolean. What is meant by a boolean? Boolean is a type which store the value as either true or false. This will be used to make decisions in JavaScript. Here is an example for the boolean. Don't forget that writing the variable names in camel case letters will make code look pretty and usable. These 3 are the major data types we need to learn for now. But I will tell you about all the data types and their usage. The next one is undefined. We will get undefined in the console when the variable is taken to use in the program, but it is not initialized with any value. In that case we can say that a variable is undefined. Because we know that value has the data type, not the variable. Similarly, the null data type can also possess the empty value, but we cannot say that as undefined. We get this null value when we didn't find the value assigned to a variable. Don't get confused, we will discuss about this later in this course. Just make a note of it and at the end it will all make the sense. Sixth data type is a symbol. This data type came into the use in the version of ES 2015. This symbol data type is used to possess a unique value and cannot be changed in the entire code. This has many drawbacks in usage, so we don't use this symbol data type anymore. That doesn't mean that, if we are not using it doesn't mean we should know about it, right? Everything should be learned for building the greater concept knowledge. And finally the big int. This is used to store the integer values in the programming language. You might have in doubt that we are using the number data type, then what is the need of this big int? Nice question. The number data type is restricted with limited number of bytes of memory. So, when we encounter the larger value operations we will encounter the error. So, to overcome that error we use big int in JavaScript. Okay, so now we have completed the primitive data type values. But do you think we will declare all these data types manually in the JavaScript code? Let me know in the comments. Actually, the answer is a no. We don't actually implement them manually in the JavaScript. Then how do you think this will get into the act in programming? So, to do this task we have dynamic typing in JavaScript. This is another new concept in the JavaScript. So, what is meant by dynamic typing? In my case study, dynamic typing helps us to determine the data types automatically without manually defining the data types. Don't even bother, I am going to explain it with an example. Okay, so I think you got an idea about this concept. Pause the video and make a note of the concept. Okay, I am going to explain all these topics with real-time examples. So, fasten your seat belt and make yourself ready to go. Okay, so I am going to take some examples to explain the primitive data types in JavaScript. So, I am going to start with the number data type in JavaScript. For that, I am taking an variable using the let keyword and with a value of 18. I am going to take another variable as first name with a value as brainy voyage for the string data type. And I am also going to take some another examples for the Boolean and also for the undefined data types. Okay, so now we have taken all the variables initialized with values except for the last name variable. Now, let me log the values and explain them. So, now I logged the value of the age-valid variable. I will save the file and we got the value of the variable as 18 because that the value we initialized to the variable is 18. Now, let us find out the data type of the value we used. To do that, we have an operator called typeOf. This will log the type of the variable into the console. Let's try it. I will save the file, so it will log the value of the variable into the console. And here we got the output as number. Because we gave the number as the value of the variable. Even if we give the decimal values, the output won't change. See, we still have number as the output. It shouldn't change even if I add several decimal values. Yes, it haven't changed even I added several numbers into the value. Okay, now let's do the same thing for all the other variables and let's see. Now, I am going to console log the first name and its data type into the console. Now, I will save the file and let's see what we got here. We got value and the type of the value as a string into the console. Anything that we have written in the quotes will consider it as a string, even if it is a single character. Let me put back the name to Brainy Voyage. I will do the same thing for the Boolean values. I am going to log the value and type of the value into the console. See, we got the value as true and type of the variable as Boolean. This will prove that true and false are the Boolean values in JavaScript. So, what do you think will happen if I log the last name into the console? Here, I got the value as undefined. That's because I have taken the variable to work with it in the code, but I haven't initialized any value to that variable. So, it will give me the output as undefined into the console. What do you think will happen if I log the type of that variable into the console? Here, I got the type of that variable as the undefined. Do you think both the undefined values are similar? Actually, not. One of them represents the value of the variable and another one represents the type of the variable. Here are some questions for you. Number 1. What is the use of the data types in JavaScript? Number 2. How do you actually comment the code in the JavaScript? Number 3. What is the use of dynamic typing in JavaScript? Comment down your answers so that I can think you got this concept correctly. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel if you like the video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and in WhatsApp. Thank you for watching the video.